Hello everyone, this is Rokas from Aikido Shule, and today we're going to look at the question of receptivity, how to receive not only what you're doing in an Aikido class, but also how to bring it off the mat, how to receive life, how to receive difficult situations, different situations, which is a very important theme, a very important topic. We did look at it through our vlogs. I did a live vlog just a few days ago, so if you want to expand this topic, check it out. But right here, we're going to look at how to put it on practice, how to practice on the mat, and how to develop it with the help of Aikido. So when we look at the principle of receptivity, it becomes quite clear quite quickly why it's good and why receptivity is important rather than rigidity. So if my partner grabs me on the physical level, so in a mirror stance, if I'm tense, if I'm rigid, and he pushes me, then he can really push me away. So if I'm tense, I can resist for a certain period, and for that period I will feel strong, I will feel like I'm in control. If the force is big enough, eventually I will be pushed. So in that sense, I am vulnerable. It's quite easy to damage me. So once more, if I'm resisting and she's pushing, eventually I will break. As the same way as if you would take a wooden stick, which is rigid, which is dry, enough force, for a moment it will feel strong, but with enough force, it will break. And that's how we often live our lives. We try to control things, we try to put everything and do everything the way we want it to happen, but eventually that control, there will be too much pressure and we will snap. But on the physical level, if I relax my arm, if I let go of the tension, and if I receive and he pushes my arm, nothing happens. There's no tension. I can receive. So now, this is the first step. He pushes, I receive with the arm, so I let go of the tension in the arm. But now, there will be moments where I will get into trouble, and so I received the first step, I received the first challenge, but there is the second challenge, the second step. So life pushes not only my arm anymore, but also the center, my body. He's smart enough to do that. So he pushes my body. Now, same thing applies. First step, arm. Now if he's pushing my body and I'm holding my body, I'm rigid in my body, then again the same thing applies. But I can also receive with my body. So I receive with the arm, and now he pushes, I receive with the body. And now there's no trouble. It doesn't damage me. So first it's the arm, receiving, then the body, I let him pass. And now, as he passes, there's a moment of receptivity from both me and from him as well, from the other person, attacker, conflictual persons, crisis situation, life. Then I can respond. At this moment, when the push starts, it's hard to do something. It's not the moment to act. First of all, I need to listen into it. I need to realize, okay, what's happening? Why? What's the deal? And when I receive, once more, I receive, now I can change. Now I can adapt. Now I can do something based on the situation. And in the beginning, if I try to do something here, I will have to act from my mind, from my projections, from my expectations, from my ideas. Here, I will have to do something I know, and I can do it, but it's going to feel forced. It's not going to feel good for him. I will get exhausted as well. But if I receive now, I'm forced, in a good sense, to adapt, to change, to do something based on the situation. And that way, I learn something new. And the response feels good for him too. It feels that the right thing at the right time. But it all starts from being receptive, from listening in, and allowing the situation to grow us, to let us change. So that's the first step. We start with first the arm, then the body, and then the response. In the response part, you don't want to wait for too long. So meaning, arm, body, and we stop. Now we come back. There's tension. Now there's no receptivity. And if I try to do something to him here, again, it's going to feel forced. So it's, again, the first step, receive with the body, and then as I receive, I can do something. So the second part of the process of developing receptivity is to actually not waiting too long. So meaning as soon as he begins to push here, I receive and I respond. Receptivity becomes much faster now. I'm not having these 1-step, 2-step, 3rd-step, but it's a one process. So he pushes, I receive, and I come back. If I do too early, we're gonna come into tension. So if I receive and I let myself respond, now it's gonna work. And the 3rd phase that we can add to this process is adding a proactive point. So meaning I don't wait for him to grab me. So meaning he's going for the grab, I receive before he even touches me. So he's grabbing, I receive before he touches, and then I respond, I do something, right? That's the 3rd phase of this exercise. And now, as you see, I'm developing receptivity. I'm forced, in a good way, to experience that with my body. And the great thing, if I develop that quality of receiving on the mat when I'm training Aikido, later during the day, that same quality will come up in my daily life, talking to people, having difficult situations. I will have that capacity to receive. If I'm able to do it with the body is very obvious. Then I will be able to on the mental level, on the verbal level. So it's very powerful on the emotional level too. Just a couple of more ideas for you to stand on. Receptivity can also be in attacks. So I'll cut straight to a higher phase right here, but let's say we're standing in front of each other, and I will, in just a moment, I will ask my partner to attack in any attack that he wants to. So if I don't know the attack, I don't know what attack he's going to do, and I'm expecting it, I want to control him, I want to control the situation, there will be tension. I will have to think and guess, and when he attacks, I will have to do something that I know already. But if I receive, if I let my projections go, and he does some kind of attack, I can really come in. I can really respond. I can allow the situation to unfold. So again, he does any attack. I'm ready to respond. Now, I don't need to know what's going to happen. Now, the body responds by itself. The situation creates me. So, see here, too. I don't need to know. Once more, any attack, I don't need to know, which is great. It's liberating. Now I'm free to live, to create. There's no need to fear, because I know that if I receive, I will find a solution. So as you see, receptivity can be processed and developed in many different ways. It can be from a grab, from a punch. It can be from a push to the body. So let's say if I'm just standing there, ask my partner to place his hand somewhere and push me. If I resist, it's going to be hard to respond. But if I let it in, if I receive, now I can actually do something with it. One more example. So he places his hand anywhere, he pushes. When I receive, I can really respond, and vice versa. So for the last part, also notice what is great about Aikido is that we train in a two-way relationship. There's no winner or loser. There's no dominating person and suffering person. But rather, we're both equally learning in different roles. So when I'm uke, receiving is super important. And receiving is I can really develop the receiving. I'm not just turning off and waiting for my turn to do something. So if we repeat the exercise with any attack, and I'm the attacker, I'm the uke, I'm the receiver. So let's say we'll do it in a slow way to explain it. So let's say I attack and he responds to do something. So I attack, and if I'm not doing it here, as I said, waiting for my chance, I'm not, okay, now I'm just gonna lounge at him and do something, and then, okay, I fell. And now it's my turn. No, I'm learning, I can develop many qualities, including receptivity, while I'm uke. So as I attack, I want to be receptive too. So I do an attack, and he does something, I want to be there with him. I want to receive, so that when he does something, I can actually switch. I can do kaishiwaza. If I'm not receptive, if I'm rigid, here, I might feel semi-strong for a moment, but actually unbreakable. I'm easily predictable. I don't want to go there. But again, once more, if I'm receptive, so I'm giving a punch, I'm receptive, right now I can adapt, I can do something. Receptivity is actually very powerful. So once more, to sum it up, receptivity is very important. It can liberate you, it can free you, and you can definitely practice it on the mat. The way I see it, if you're practicing Aikido so many times per day, you don't get attacked so many times per day as you train. Training just for self-defense, it's too much work for just that moment. But if you train so many times, I always advise to train more deeply, knowing why you come here, developing not just lounging yourself at it, but actually developing qualities which you will benefit from later at your daily life, and others will benefit from you too. Sensei spoke that Aikido is a tool to fulfill your life's mission, and I feel that when learning these qualities with the help of Aikido, that's how we can benefit and become better at what we do. So we're going to talk about that more, but right now let's finish up here. As always, this was Rokas, and I'll see you on the virtual mat again soon.